Okay, ulit. Good afternoon, everyone. So for this afternoon, our topic is about trends and issues in the curriculum development. So bago ang lahat, meron ba sa inyong nakakaalam kung ano yung mga trends and issues in the curriculum development? Okay, Miss Joanne.
Ano po, example is yung kakulangan sa resources and facilities.
Okay, sino pa? Miss Pearl? May gusto ka bang sabihin?
Wala po.
Okay. So, for today's agenda, ang ating objective is the given information. In the given information, the students would have articulated research-based knowledge on the different trends and issues in the curriculum development. And you can now analyze the issues in the enhancement of the curriculum. So, ano nga ba ang trends and issues in the curriculum development? It refers to the current developments and challenges associated with the designing and implementing educational curricula. So, here are the trends and issues in the curriculum development. First is the technology integration. In this new curriculum, umiikot siya sa technology, sa innovation about sa technology. Next is, familiar na tayo since in K-12 curriculum, ini-implement na talaga ang inclusive education. Pangatlo is competency-based education, which is the K-12 curriculum guide is also competency-based education. Next is global and cultural awareness. And lastly, social and emotional learning, or SEL. Sa trends and issues in the curriculum development, meron tayong tatlong lessons. First lesson dito ay ang Education 4.0. So ano nga ba ang Education 4.0? It refers to the new era of education which integrates technology and digital tools to enhance teaching and learning experiences. So, overall, ang Education 4.0 is nagre-revolve sa enhancement ng digital and technological tools for implementing or for teaching and learning purposes. Next is ano nga ba ang purpose ng Education 4.0 sa Philippines? So, it integrates technology into education. As what I've said, umiikot yung Education 4.0 sa pag-enhance ng technology for better teaching and learning experiences. Next is, it fosters innovation and prepares students for the digital economy. Nakalimutan ko palang sabihin na Education 4.0 is through this Education 4.0, nire-ready ng DepEd or ng education ang pwedeng mangyari sa mga estudyante in the future. In this rapidly changing world. Next is it provides quality, inclusive, and equitable education for all, which is not new to us naman since meron na to sa Education 3.0, which is the K-12 curriculum. And here are the challenges that educators may encounter due to the Education 4.0. First is the digital divide. Alam naman natin na mas pinaprioritize ng DepEd magbigay ng mga digital devices sa mga mas malapit sa kanila since mas madali sa kanila since malapit nga. And third is the teacher preparedness and training. Alam naman natin na most of the seasoned teacher, ika kanila, is nahihirapan sa pag-adapt ng mga technological devices. Next is the resource limitation, which is connected siya sa digital device since meron na tayong limitation. Merong limitation ang government natin since nag-occur pa rin ang poverty sa Philippines. Next is the technological challenges. These technological challenges is also dun sa pag-aaral. Like for example, pupunta tayo sa lab room sa isang school is nagbabrowse tayo ng kung ano-ano. Diba? Next challenge or issue is the cybersecurity and privacy. Na-try nyo na ba yung giving the cookies ba yun? Yung accepting all. Yun, binibigay mo yung information mo, like Gmail mo doon, para ma-access mo yung isang article, parang gano'n. So, yun yung finiface, isa sa mga finiface natin challenges sa Education 4.0 since nag-browse na tayo ng mga bagay sa internet na connected sa pinag-aaralan. At next is the resistance to change and quality of online content. And lastly is the cultural and linguistic barriers. Since dito sa Philippines is napakaraming schools, iba't ibang kultura, iba't ibang lengguwahe, nagkakaroon tayo ng challenges since ang pinafocus ng Education 4.0 is more advanced, which is, ang tinatangkilik nila is English language. So how can we resolve as a teachers, so how can we resolve these challenges or issues? First is the digital divide. How can we resolve this issue? Of course, is the proper management of those devices. Hindi lang, for example, accessible yung lugar na yun, dun ka lang mismo magbibigay ng mga digital devices or digital tools. Next is the ongoing professional development. This is very applicable ngayon since marami tayong seasoned teacher na medyo nahihirapan sa paggamit ng mga technological devices sa pagtuturo. So, this professional development na program is very important nowadays. Next is the efficient resource management. Next is the troubleshooting in adaptation, fostering student engagement, modernizing assessment and evaluation, and ensuring cybersecurity and privacy, managing workload and stress, curating quality online content, and cultivating cultural and linguistic sensitivity. Kung napapansin ninyo, itong mga solutions is parang na-discuss na ng mga previous groups sa mga issues na nangyari din sa Education 3.0, which is the K-12 version. Or the lesson 2.
So once again, good afternoon everyone. So under pa rin ng trends and issues in curriculum development, yung curriculum modification and basic education, matatag curriculum. So basic education plays a crucial role in shaping futures individual and societies. However, the current basic education, the basic education in many countries, including our country, the Philippines, faces various challenges. So these challenges may include yung mga overcrowded na mga classrooms and outdated na curriculum, and yung mismatch between the skills being taught and yung demands ng modern world. So as in response to these challenges, the Department of Education, or the DepEd, introduced the Matatag curriculum as a solution. So the Matatag curriculum aims to address the shortcomings of existing curriculum, which is yung K-12 curriculum, yung ngayon yung ginagamit pa rin natin ngayon. Nagpo-provide ito ng more focused and streamlined approach sa basic education. So this curriculum modification is designed to equip yung mga pangangailangan ng mga students with essential skills and knowledge na kinakailangan para mag-thrive sa 21st century skills. So in the following slides, we will explore the key concepts or key features of Matatag curriculum and its potential, yung mga impact niya sa basic education sa ating country. So, quality ng education dito sa ating bansa. And dito yung purpose and goals kung bakit nila i-implement yung matatag curriculum. Is number one is streamlining the curriculum content to focus on essential skills and knowledge, enhancing the mastery of foundational skills to ensure a strong vocational foundation, aligning the curriculum with the demands. Yun na, sabi ko kanina, ina-align nila yung itong matatag curriculum sa demands ng 21st century and the modern world and the needs of the learners. Next is promoting active learning, critical thinking, and problem-solving abilities among students. And last is to fostering a sense of national identity, cultural appreciation, and responsible citizenship. And matidiscuss pa natin yan sa later on. So, here we have the 5 foundational skills na naka-align dito sa matatag curriculum. So, language is a crucial skills in effective communication and comprehension. So, the matatag curriculum emphasizes the development of proficiency sa Filipino subject and English languages. So, here sa matatag curriculum, students may engage sila sa mga activities na may enhance yung kanilang vocabulary, grammar, speaking, and listening and writing skills. So the curriculum focuses on 5 foundational skills that are deemed essential for students' holistic development. So these 5 foundational skills are number 1 is the language. This is to developing proficiency. Yun nga sabi ko para ma-develop yung language proficiency nila sa subject na Filipino at sa English languages. Number 2 is the reading and literacy. Dito naman, ina-enhance yung reading comprehension and literary skills, which is essential para sa success and lifelong learning ng mga students. And dito sa matatag curriculum, nakafocus dito yung pag-improve sa reading comprehension and literary skills. So dito naman sa reading and literacy, yung mga students will be engaged or may expose sila sa mga various literary genres such as informational texts and strategies to enhance their reading skills. Number 3 is the mathematics. This is to strengthening mathematical knowledge and problem-solving abilities. Dito naman, dinidevelop naman dito yung logical reasoning and problem-solving abilities ng mga students. So, yung matatag curriculum aims to strengthen yung problem-solving and mathematical skills ng mga student. Dito naman, na-engage yung mga students sa mga activities na nagpo-promote sa numerical fluency, mathematical reasoning, and real-world application of mathematical concepts. Number 4 is Sahang Kabansa. This is to cultivate a sense of patriotism, cultural awareness, and national identity. Dito, yung matatag curriculum aims to instill the pride in Filipino heritage and pinopromote yung cultural appreciation sa mga bata. Dito naman, yung mga students will learn about the Philippine history, mga yun, and traditions, values, yung mga contributions ng society sa ating bansa. And last is the good manners and right conduct. This is to promote ethical values, character development, and responsible citizenship. So dito naman, dinag-develop yung character development and responsible citizenship. So the matatag curriculum emphasizes the ethical values, respect for others, and responsible behavior. Yung mga students naman dito is may engage or matututunan nila yung proper conduct, social skills, and ethical decision making. So now let's move on sa benefits of the matatag curriculum. So yung number 1 is to streamline and focus learning. key concepts sa mga subjects. And yung ini-ensure din dito yung strong educational foundation para sa mga students. And number 2 is the relevance to the modern world. Yun nga, yun kanina, parang inalign nila yung matatag curriculum, yung in demands na sa modern world, which is yun, para ma-equip yung mga pangangailangan ng mga students na kailangan nila yung mga relevant skills. And it prepares them to navigate the challenges sa 21st century and adapt to the evolving needs of society. And number 3 is the active learning and critical thinking. So dito naman, the matatag curriculum promotes active learning, encouraging students to actively engage in the learning process, and it fosters critical thinking, problem solving, and analytical skills para ma-prepare yung mga students to become lifelong learners. Number 4 is the cultural appreciation and national identity. Yun na-discuss na kanina dun sa makabansa, makabansa yung sa five foundational skills na ito. Cultural appreciation and national identity and character development and responsible citizenship. Next is we move on kung kailan ba ma-implement itong implementation itong matatag curriculum. So the implementation of matatag curriculum will be carried out in phase from 2024 to 2028. So phase 1 is the preparation and training, which will be 2024 to 2025, which is nangyayari na ngayon, parang ini-implement na nila. So dito, the initial phase focuses on preparing teachers, schools, and educational institutions for the implementation of the matatag curriculum. So, yung mga teachers will undergo for training and professional development programs to familiarize themselves with the curriculum framework and teaching strategies, which is yung ginagawa nila Ma'am Esper or yung mga ibang faculty members na nagpupunta sa ibang lugar para Yung phase 2 is the pilot implementation, which will be in 2025 to 2026. So this phase naman, the pilot implementation phase involves select schools and classroom implementing the matatag curriculum on trial basis. So dito naman, magko-collect na sila ng mga feedbacks, evaluation, and refinement of the curriculum based on the experiences or yung mga insights na ginagawa nila kung i-implement man na maayos yung ito. Next is the